How did you prove your sister-in-law sabotaged your adoption? The birth mother was crying in the bathroom when my wife found her. I can't give you the baby anymore, Kelsey sobbed before running out. We were 6 months into adopting her baby, and suddenly she wouldn't look at us. Someone had been visiting her every day at lunch. Her boyfriend saw it happening but was too scared to say who it was. My wife begged Kelsey to tell us what we did wrong. You know what you did, she whispered. Then I saw my sister-in-law, Catherine's silver car in the parking lot. It was Catherine visiting Kelsey. When I confronted her, she tilted her head and smiled like I was being paranoid. I'm just being supportive, she said, touching my arm. Someone needs to make sure Kelsey's making the right choice. My skin crawled at how she said, right choice. Catherine's husband mentioned she'd filed to adopt a baby too. My stomach dropped when he said she filed 3 weeks after Kelsey picked us. Catherine couldn't have children and never told anyone she was trying to adopt. The timeline clicked in my head and I felt sick. She wanted our baby. My wife was shaking when she showed me the texts. Catherine had sent our cousin paragraphs about how I was distant, and my wife was falling apart from stress. The dates made me dizzy. 2 days before Kelsey started pulling away. While we were painting the nursery yellow, Catherine was already destroying us. The security guard at Kelsey's work recognized me from my visits. Your sister-in-law is here more than you are, he laughed, not knowing he was destroying my world. The visitor log made my hands shake. 23 visits in 1 month, every single lunch break. Meanwhile, she'd been telling our family at Sunday dinners that she barely knew Kelsey, acting concerned when we mentioned the adoption was getting rocky. Kelsey mentioned Catherine gave her a book about warning signs in adoptive parents, said it really opened her eyes. I drove to 3 bookstores to find that exact book. When I flipped through it in my car, I wanted to scream. Catherine had highlighted every section about money problems and bad marriages with pink highlighter, little notes in the margins saying, something to think about. We'd been seeing a counselor for 6 months who kept telling us we were the strongest couple she'd worked with, but Kelsey didn't know that. Catherine's work emails made everything worse. The boyfriend had been secretly forwarding them to himself because they made his skin crawl. 17 articles about adoptions that went wrong, birth mothers who regretted their choice, couples who seemed perfect but weren't ready. One subject line said, thought you might find this interesting, with an article claiming couples who rush into adoption usually fail. 8 years of fertility treatments isn't rushing. 8 years of empty bedrooms and negative tests isn't rushing. Catherine wrote Kelsey a check for $2,000. Memo line saying prenatal vitamins and care. Kelsey's insurance covered everything and Catherine knew it. The boyfriend photographed that check because his gut told him something was off. He was building his own evidence file without even knowing why. Then Catherine told the lie that nearly ended everything. She told Kelsey she saw us having a screaming match in the parking lot on Tuesday. Said I grabbed my wife's arm hard enough to leave marks. That my wife was sobbing and begging me to stop. She painted this whole scene with details about what we were wearing, what we said. Kelsey believed every word because Catherine was crying while telling it, playing the concerned sister-in-law perfectly. Except my wife was in Seattle that entire week for a conference. I had plane tickets, hotel receipts, her conference badge, everything. The fight was impossible, but the damage was done. The boyfriend finally cracked and told me Catherine had been coaching Kelsey's responses. Tell them you need space. Don't explain why. Let them wonder what they did wrong. Then he dropped the bomb that made me see red. Catherine had asked Kelsey if she could adopt the baby instead. We laid everything out on Kelsey's coffee table. The visitor log with 23 visits. The texts Catherine sent about us. All 17 emails. The photo of that check. When I showed her my wife's Seattle receipts, Kelsey's hands started trembling. She said she heard you fighting, she whispered, voice cracking. My wife was 3 states away. The fight was impossible. Her boyfriend couldn't stay quiet anymore. Catherine asked to adopt the baby herself, said it would be easier for everyone. Kelsey went completely still, then grabbed her phone. I know what you did. Her voice was ice. Never contact me again. Catherine started stammering. Kelsey hung up. 2 weeks later, our daughter was born. Catherine showed up at the hospital demanding to see the baby. She screamed that we stole her baby. Her husband stood there watching his wife tell everyone that Kelsey didn't know the truth about us. Security had to drag her out. Kelsey signed every paper. Last week, she sent us a card thanking us for fighting for our family. Catherine's husband filed for divorce 4 months later.